I know you don't.
Man,
I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you.
Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmama, he's going to prison. If you got.
I said a while ago when T.I.'s son King was getting a lot of flack and a lot of heat in the media, that to me he just looked like a young kid that wanted to prove to his father that he was a man too.
King Harris's drama just hit a whole new level. Tiny, blindsided T.I. with divorce papers, and this bomb dropped right after King's messy arrest. What made it worse? T.I. didn't even try to fight for his marriage. He just let it slide, like he already gave up. Now the whole family's in shambles, with everybody pointing fingers and the house divided. People can't stop asking, who's really at fault here? The parents who spoiled King with everything money could buy, or King himself for tossing it all away to play the tough guy role? The tension is wild, and the whispers inside that household are louder than ever. Sure, Tiny and T.I. splitting shocked fans at first. These two been rocking for decades, holding it down through every scandal, every rumor, every storm. But truth is, cracks had been showing for years, and King's reckless arrest in October 2024 lit the match. That spotlight wasn't just on King, it burned right through the entire family, exposing every hidden flaw. King was flying out of a gas station in his BMW, driving wild like he always does, when he nearly smacked into a cop car. Worst timing ever.
All right, I need you to step out the vehicle.
What you want to do? You want to take my dad off my head?
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
It's guns in here.
All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety. You got to take the
There's no safety.
take the
Okay.
clip out of it.
Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. Dude, step out
Get
for
out
me.
now.
Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. All right, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest.
Okay.
I'm gonna be at the church. All right, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't sure this.
Just take a step to the side for me.
The stop went from bad to disastrous the second the officers approached. First thing they caught? The heavy smell of weed pouring out the ride. Then, their eyes locked on a gun stuffed in his waistband, and that was it. Game over. They snatched the gun, threw him in cuffs, but what really made jaws drop was what came up after they ran his name. An outstanding warrant from way back in 2022. Overspeeding, driving on a suspended license, and a DUI. Basically, his whole reckless past came back to haunt him in one hit. Here's the crazy part. If King had just chilled that night, he might have skated away. But nope, every bad choice piled up at once. And when that arrest footage leaked online, social media ripped him apart. The internet was clowning, dragging, and dissecting every frame like it was a movie premiere. The video showed a different King, though. He wasn't wilding, he wasn't snapping. He looked shook, almost like he realized this was the line he couldn't cross again. That 30-minute clip had fans pointing out the regret all over his face.
Hitting me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his going to prison. If you got to keep this up, his going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
Even the cop admitted he was surprised at how calm King stayed, like he finally learned to bite his tongue. But don't get it twisted. That cool act didn't save him. He still landed in DeKalb County Jail before being shipped to Pickens County after the warrant was recalled. Once the video went viral, fans flooded the comments, roasting him, but also saying maybe this was the wake-up call he couldn't ignore. Somebody straight up called King a trust fund prison punk, and that comment lit up with likes because people thought it was hilarious. Another fan tore into him saying, he acts like he's from the streets, but runs to his parents' money when things go bad. The internet wasn't letting him breathe, but the wild part? King wasn't the only one catching heat. His chaos blew back on his parents and cracked their marriage wide open. T.I. tried to play the role of the heartbroken dad, but Tiny wasn't having it. She came swinging with receipts. In her divorce filings, she straight up listed King's downward spiral as the reason she was done for good. Shockingly, I didn't fight back, didn't try to win her over, nothing. In his mind, he had done all he could as a father, and if King chose to mess up, that was on King alone. As cold as it sounded, I had been warning folks for years. Back in 2022, when King started going viral for wild antics, I publicly begged him to slow down. He warned the boy was heading for a cell if he didn't quit acting reckless. He even told Tiny and King's grandmother to watch him closely or risk watching him throw his whole future away. And this wasn't just talk. I knew firsthand the price of prison, and he didn't want his own son repeating that story. But Tiny wasn't buying the concerned father act at all. To her, it was nothing but excuses.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. That file show. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here, I'll show you what I do. Come here.
In the divorce papers, she clapped back, claiming T.I. wasn't the hands-on dad he pretended to be. She argued that if he had really been present and firm with King, their son never would have strayed this far. For Tiny, King's crash out wasn't just his fault. It was T.I.'s failure too. And Tiny wasn't exactly wrong for calling T.I. out. He was in and out of prison from the moment she found out she was pregnant with King. By the time he finally came home for real, King had already grown used to life without a father figure. Even after that, T's presence didn't really hit the way it should have, because word is, he allegedly sent King to live with his grandmother most of the time. King himself once admitted that even though his parents were loaded, he didn't feel rich growing up because life with his grandma was a whole different vibe. He even claimed the only times he was allowed to come stay at his parents' house were when cameras were rolling for their reality show. Imagine that, your childhood turning into a set for TV while the real family moments stayed locked away. With a home life that shaky, it's no shock King started chasing distractions in the streets. Every stunt he pulled pushed him closer to the edge, flirting with a future behind bars. One of the biggest examples of how bad it had gotten came in 2022 during his infamous Waffle House meltdown. The drama kicked off over something as small as pickles. Yeah, pickles. A worker messed up King's order, and that tiny mistake sparked a screaming match that spiraled out of control. King filmed the whole embarrassing scene and proudly posted it online. But instead of making him look hard, it exposed him as entitled and out of touch. Fans dragged him as a spoiled brat, and people started questioning how T.I. could let his son run so wild without stepping in. So when T.I. hopped online making that video warning King, Tiny was livid. To her, all that fatherly advice should have happened years ago, not when the damage was already done. Things cooled down between them for a minute, but T.A.'s disappointment in King never stayed buried. It exploded in front of thousands of fans at an Atlanta Falcons game, where father and son clashed so hard it turned physical. It all started when King claimed he didn't grow up with privilege. That set T.I. off instantly. He clapped back, reminding King that he had grown up with a silver spoon in his mouth. King snapped, refusing to back down, and before anyone could blink, he was swinging on his own dad. The clip showed a heated brawl, and for a moment, it looked like I was ready to forget that this was his own child and really throw down. The internet went wild once the video leaked. Thousands of likes poured in within hours, with people actually praising T.I. for finally disciplining King. One comment read, "He should have busted him up. Overdue lesson."
To make him look better, he said it he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the fight.
You cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every day.
I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut up.
I I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business.
Another compared King to a late library book. If you don't check it early, it'll come back to bite you. Fans were calling King out of control, begging folks to pray for the family. But behind closed doors, Tiny was furious. She hated that T.I. embarrassed King like that in public. And she was even more shocked when she got home and found out T.I. had kicked King out of the house to learn how to survive on his own. To Tiny, that was crossing the line, and it deepened the crack in their marriage until there was no fixing it. And Tiny didn't stop there. She stacked her divorce filings with even more dirt. She cited T.I.'s long history of cheating and his violent past, saying she had stood by while he stepped out on her for years, only for him to spin lies about changing. By the time King spiraled into his own chaos, Tiny wasn't just mad at her son. She looked at T.I. and realized the cycle had never been broken. That's why Tiny finally cut T.I. off. What broke her the most was realizing King wasn't just wilding on his own. He was literally following T.I.'s old blueprint. The same jail stints that once gave T.I. his tough guy reputation were the exact ones King seemed determined to repeat. So when T.I. disowned King after that arrest, Tiny snapped, because in her eyes, he wasn't just rejecting his son, he was rejecting his own reflection. And King's need for his father's approval shows every time he flashes a gun online. After that arrest footage went viral, some fans even claimed King purposely walked into the situation to score jail time, like it was his twisted way of proving himself. Others argued he had finally earned the rugged street cred he'd been chasing for years. But a lot of people agreed, everything he does is really about grabbing his dad's respect. One moment that proved it all went down during a collab with Boozie's son, Tootie Raw. The boys were shooting a music video, but instead of focusing on the track, they were busy flexing guns like it was a trap house audition. That's when T.I. and Boozy stormed in, and you could hear the disappointment dripping from T.I.'s voice as he checked King on camera. He grilled him, asking why he was so obsessed with looking tough, especially when girls were around watching. It quickly flipped into a full-blown lecture.
So motherfucking 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Nobody got to raise their hand. I've been seeing him around too here a lot. You gonna raise your own hand? I've been seeing him around too. Well, when you got drugs, it ain't I know that. Y'all got drugs around those legal guns. That called, it's not possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony. Yeah. Thank you.
T.I. warned him straight up. One wrong move with those guns, or even just holding something illegal, could ruin his entire life in an instant. Neither T.I. nor Boozy cracked a smile. They weren't playing at all. That moment showed just how serious both fathers were about pulling their sons back before it was too late. On the surface, it looked like T.I. was really trying to steer his son away from trouble, warning him that the road he was on led straight to jail. But when Tiny heard about the whole incident, she wasn't impressed one bit. She was actually mad that T.I. put their son's business out in public like that. And it wasn't because she was cool with King flexing guns or playing tough. She just felt T.I. was years too late. To her, King was only mirroring what he'd seen his father do growing up. But what truly broke Tiny's patience was the baby mama drama. The bomb dropped when T.I. casually announced on a podcast that he was about to become a grandfather again, thanks to King having a child on the way. Tiny couldn't believe her ears. To her, it sounded less like concern and more like T.I. was actually endorsing their son's reckless choices. The situation itself was messy. Rumors swirled that King's baby mama, Big Nana, was way older than him, and some people even suggested she was using him for a bag. King, though? He didn't care one bit. He was hyped about it, smiling ear to ear, bragging like he just hit the jackpot. And when their baby was finally born in November 2024, King went all in, posting nonstop, boasting proudly, and stepping fully into fatherhood like he had something to prove. King even dropped a track called Dear Son, rapping about stepping up as a dad. He posted it with the caption, November 5th, 8:09 a.m. Welcome King Jr. Time to take over. For a moment, it really looked like King was ready to flip the script, like fatherhood was finally calming him down and forcing him to grow up. Tiny loved seeing it. To her, the best part was watching King be present with his child and correcting the very mistakes his own father had made with him. But of course, the timing was brutal. While King was online playing the proud dad role, his arrest video was still circulating everywhere, reminding the world that his legal mess hadn't gone anywhere. Fans couldn't decide if he was changing or just putting on another show. T.I., meanwhile, tried to show support, but the disappointment kept seeping through. And for Tiny, that cut deep, because it wasn't just about King anymore. The fact that T.I. was so ashamed of his son that he didn't even want to share the same roof with him, that shattered her. She could forgive cheating, she could overlook arguments, but watching T.I. give up on their child was the one thing she couldn't stomach. So when those divorce papers finally landed, nobody was shocked. It was simply the last straw in a marriage that had been breaking for years. Tiny made her choice. She's done. No more hiding, no more covering. The only question now is what T.I. does next. Because if he stays silent with Tiny the way he stayed silent with King, this family might already be over. And don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.